I'm speaking with First Lieutenant Paul Dudley, commander of Company B, 20th Maine Infantry Regiment. Paul, how did you get involved with Civil War reenacting? You've been with it for a long time.
Well, I was a history teacher, number one, and the Civil War seemed to be my area that I liked the most. There was a small group of Civil War reenactors who were called the Aroostook Stragglers. They were affiliated with Company B, but they kind of did their own thing in the county.
Mm-hmm.
So when I joined with them, and I got involved actually with Company B when they joined forces and stuff like that, 1995, I believe.
Oh.
So I've been at it for a while. And just as the interest, just instead of being satiated, became greater and greater. You learn so much more from different individuals and different things. There's so much to know, and the impossibility to know a lot above all of that stuff. But just a fascinating time for me. I file right. Mark.
Now you live in Aroostook County.
Yes.
In Easton.
Yes.
That requires quite a bit of travel for you for the company functions?
Correct. To come to Fort Knox is anywhere from 3 to 3.5 hours. And most things, unfortunately, take a long time. To go to Gettysburg for me is a 15 hour drive. And anything going farther south, of course, it just adds on to that. But it's a labor of love, I guess, that I've had a lot of people ask me why the Civil War, and I said, it's hard to explain. It's just like, why do you prefer apple pie versus blueberry pie? You know, that it's a matter of preference, and it's just very interesting. I have no direct ancestors who were in the Civil War. I do have some lineage of some famous people. John Brown, of course, wasn't in the Civil War, but certainly a very famous person, would be a cousin, probably 60 sometimes back.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. We have a common ancestor from Massachusetts, because John was born in Connecticut. So that kind of sparks your interest when you have that, connection, as it were, and others. But again, as far as my direct family, no, my grandfather was born in 1865, and so my great-grandfather was way too old. So there's nothing there at all. But meeting people who do have that connection, or just have the connection of the love of the period, makes it all worthwhile, as far as I'm concerned. I've met people that I would never have met in my life through my chosen profession, which was teaching. I taught 39 years. And so people I never would, and things that I've done, burying actually a member of the 20th Maine back in 2016 was kind of a highlight. That isn't something you get to do at all. A very unique type of situation. So it's again, it's a labor of love, I guess. And being a history teacher, actually, I taught English also. Taught in a very small high school. Very fortunate to be able to do that. where they allowed me a lot of leeway, but I could bring this type of stuff into the classroom, which I always hoped would help students bring people history alive. And of course, this particular period, as far as I'm concerned, is more relevant today with what's going on in our country with the divisions and all this than ever before. You know, the talking about divisions and hopefully bringing back that divide. But anyway,
How far away have you traveled for Civil War reenactments?
Cedar Creek, I think, is the farthest I've gone. That's in Middletown, Virginia.
Right.
That's actually my favorite battle. It's small. It's done in October, so it's cooler.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful venue. You fight on the actual battlefield,
Mm-hmm.
which is unique. You tent where the Union soldiers tented, and it's an incredible closeness that you can't get doing Gettysburg, because you're not allowed to do that on the battlefield. The only other one that I've ever done something on the actual battlefield was we participated in the 150th of Appomattox. It was by invitation only, and being a 20th Maine unit, we got invited not because we're better than everybody else, but just because of that. But we also
Mm-hmm.
tented on the actual ground where Maine boys tented,
Wow.
and participated in all the ceremonies and the surrender. That was kind of a special one too.